Welcome back to today's session. So in today's session, I'll be mainly covering one of the clips that's been flowing around recently. One of the best scalper, Fabio Valentini, has been invited onto Chart Fanatics. If you haven't seen that clip, go to Chart Fanatic and you kind of take a look on the top-down analysis. Fabio will go through how he leveraged Orderflow using volume profile and also footprints. So this is essentially how I trade. I've been trading, leveraging into my trade, and has essentially exponentially take my entry much more accurate throughout my trade, and it's knowing when the trade should come and knowing when the trade should be entered. So in today's, I'll kind of showcase one of the few clips here that he went over, and then we'll dive into live chart into our sessions. Okay, so let's take a look.
Let's go education-wise on and see what's happening and reading here. What you can do, considering that you are still in the same area, you see that from here to here they create a new dealing range, a new area. So you can do just the same from here to here, and you can go deep dive inside this location. Look where is the value area low, and look where is the low volume node. You see this lack of volume here?
Yes.
So you have the low volume node coinciding with the value area low, coinciding with, this is free mode. This is fucking free mode. You wait for this candle, you put the stop loss here, you target either, because even if you want to target, let's say here, okay? You are risking per contract $160. In the worst case scenario, if you want to be out really fast, you are risking 160 to make 500.
Yeah.
Okay? So the risk to reward, it's more than 1 to 3.
Okay, now I'll pause the video here. So kind of quickly highlight before we jump into the live chart is how we can leverage low value nodes area. So around this key area that he have highlighted. So let me go back a little bit. So around here, this is the low value nodes area that you can expect strong sensitive area the price to respond from here. If the price do continue bullish, it will respond right off this level, and as you can see very efficiently, once the price pull into level, it didn't stay too long before moving higher, right? These are how I trade into my trading strategy. My bread and butter is once I find a key of interest using volume profile on top of that you can find low value nodes area aligned with your point of interest, and just set your limit order and forget it, right? So you set your limit order, in this case here, your stop loss at the bottom, and then again, your take profit up here, right? It's as simple as that. Alrighty, now let's dive into Forex example here. So we're, as requested, this video is mainly asked by a few comments in the recent video I posted in the Fabio analysis using volume profile. Want to do an A to Z top-down analysis, how I leverage a volume profile into my trade. Mainly the volume profile I leverage is only used during the entry model and also the lower time frame. I don't usually use a high time frame, but you can also leverage this to understand where the price is sitting at. So I'll go from there. So here you can see on the right hand side, this is essentially a session volume profile on the visible session volume profile within TradingView. So I'm looking at 4 hour. It's showing me from the day of December 1 all the way till December 10. So today I did take one trade on a Wednesday, December 10. That's a very clear and obvious trade. You can see on the right hand side, this white line is a point of control that will automatically draw based on whatever session you're looking at. So if I look down, look a little bit further, it will include these data. So you can see these data populates based on based on what you're viewing essentially in your chart. So typically I look at a significant high and low, so which is here and which is here. That's the obvious significant high and low. That's what I'll mainly focus on. But I won't leverage volume profile in this case, since it doesn't really help too much since I'm trading a lower time frame, but at least it'll tell me it's currently sitting at the point of control, and then it's trading within the value area. So you can see on the right hand side, the highlighted portion of the price is 70% the value area that the price have been traded, and outside of this outside shaded area is the outside value area. But now let's dive right in on what we're looking at. So as always, I'll do top-down analysis on first looking at a higher time frame. I can see the price is respecting this 4 hour order block, and then also mainly the most important is I look for this liquidity shift, sorry, not liquidity shift, this liquidity sweep, or liquidity stop from the higher time frame. So we want to see if the price will continue respecting this order block as it moves down and grab these only significant sell side liquidity. So now jump into 1 hour. We can see there are some confluence. So within hour, this order block aligns with the 4 hours, and you can see the candle didn't close outside of it. And then we can also see this is a periodic gap within the 1 hour that it is respecting. So not 1 minute. So the fair value gap is being respected. Now I will want to jump in so to see in the lower time frame. So within 1 minute, so let's dive into the 1 minute portions and let the session profile low. Perfect. Okay, so this is where I started looking for my entry, right? So once 8:30 came, this is the news. Once it came through, swept the high, and then respecting the 1 hour fair value gap. So in the 1 hour, no candle close outside of it. I won't see a change of character. So there is a change of character, market structure shift at this point. So you can see there is a market structure shift once this low was candle close outside. Down candle close outside of this I will consider a market structure shift. But once there's a market structure shift, I want to start looking for some entry. So over here, there is another shift over here. So once liquidity is sweep within this lower time frame, so within a minute there's the liquidity shift again, and then there's market structure shift. This is when I want to look for my entry, and you can see this is where I start leveraging volume profile. So I'll highlight a couple of things here. Here, this is the point of control, right? What we mentioned before is price typically would do this, right? Once you reach point of control, let's say using this in middle, what it likes to do is usually a bounce and go up outside and then grab it towards back into point of control. And then once the crossover, it will do the same thing. Do this, go outside, grab more liquidity before coming to back to point of control. Right, that's typically how the price move. You can use point of control as a magnet on where the price will go. So you can see the price is once it bounces to here is sitting the point of control, respecting it. But once it pass over, and here's I want to highlight, there is a high value nodes area over here. Right, I'll put that in the red shade, yellow shade. That's easier to see. And then you can see point of control. This obviously will have a high value area where price is trading, spending a lot of time in this price zone. So what this tells you essentially just mean this is a significant price level that we expect some sort of reaction. And then what I want to highlight here is within this zone here, right? Within this zone, different color. This is a value low nodes, right? So we can expect the price, if it's gonna reject on this zone of point of control, it's gonna go outside into here before coming back up. Okay, so we can put our entry. So we can put a short entry over here, right? Short entry over here, and then target these low. Okay, and then if you want to be a little bit more safe, you can put outside this high over here and then target down here all the way down to these low, and then we can let the price play out. So this is roughly a 1.7 hour trade. So you can see once price tap into here, it's getting rejected, and you can see why it's being rejected, and then you can see how fast the price move. And you can see once the price move into where we highlighted area, right? This is the high value nodes area. Why the price start to getting the ads starting to come in, right? A lot of buyer will start stepping into this area because we can expect. So if you take a look at footprint chart or order flow chart, you can see these will have a lot of limit orders that is being stacked over here. So we can expect some sort of activity, which is we're expecting to slow down, to bounce back up. And then once the bull passes, we should be going down very fast. So once market open, you can see this value continue to hold, going back up. But once that fail, it will slice right through, because there is the very thin value over here, right? So if you look to the left hand side, there's nothing over here. There's little resistance to stop the trade. So you can let a couple runner into here as well, or you can just target these low, and then the stop ideally will be put into here. That will give you a 3 close to 4 hour trade, and this will be a very quick trade, right? So essentially going back, this is what we're mainly focusing on, is we want to see the price, how it reacts once you push below into here, pushing back up, right? It should not push up with a lot of volume, with a lot of strength. It should respect, and that's what we're looking for, using high value nodes areas versus low value nodes. This doesn't just give you a confluence on what to expect for this type of trade. And now let's take a look at our last example here. So here we can see within this sessions, we can see the point control sitting down here, and there are low volume nodes here. And then once the price is outside this extreme end of the sessions, I'm expecting to see if there is price gonna respect this resistance up here and then continue lower. And then also one thing to highlight, as I'm looking at ES, I can see ES has a divergence with NQ. So ES already swiped all these high, NQ didn't. NQ didn't break any new high for this yet, so this formed SMT between here. And then when I'm looking into a lower time frame, so jump into 1 minute, I want to see if we can grab all these liquidity down here. Okay, so within these are the liquidity. So let me go to 5 minutes so I can kind of see. These are all lower liquidity that I want to grab, expecting to grab. So this one, these are all liquidity that I'm expecting the price to grab. Okay. So in here, again, let's highlight this from A to Z. Once there is a sweep of liquidity over here and also market structure shift, you can see it is respecting the lower time frame point of control. Here, this liquidity is high in this high liquidity nodes, and all this between is low liquidity. So expecting the price to move towards here and also all the way down here to grab these as well. So in these, if you look at a big time frame, these liquidity are very thin over here. So I'm expecting the price to just slice all the way down here very quickly. So my order entry was at over here, and then stop at this high, and target all the way till this low for the 2 hour trade. Let this play out. So you can see once it tapped into here, the price move very quick, and then move well beyond. So this day I didn't catch all these moves. So I think this move ended up being like a 7 hour trade, or even more. Let me see. Yeah, being even more than 7 hour trade. What's open? Yeah, and I think it did continue moving lower at later point. I stopped trading once in the first trade. It was very quick, but this is a 10 hour trade in short. Before even market open, this is a 10 hour trade just within from around 8:50 all the way till 9:10. This move already completed. So if you did trade it in the New York session, there was pretty much no setup to trade this day. If you did trade, there's not going to be a significant move since majority move is already done from the pre-market. As I'm recently noticing, as we get close to holiday, a lot of sessions, the volatility is getting thinner, and then with the volatility getting volume getting thinner, volatility is a little bit higher. So during the pre-market, the price is moving quite a lot. So there's quite a lot of opportunity during the pre-market. I'm looking to trade up till the middle of week of December. In the last 2 weeks, I don't think there will be any good value trade to be placing. So this is a very easy trade, low risk, high reward. As you can see, why the price, how it's just leveraging volume profile can help you a lot. Let me move back into here. Kind of see. So you can see again, these are all thin liquidity. It will move right through, and then what we can expect to see is in the futures, as price got slice through the standard liquidity and spend too much time, we'll expect the price to slowly go back up and building these liquidity for these low volume nodes, right? So if you can take a look in the higher time frame, these are all thin liquidity, and you can see the price is slowly building these liquidity, slowly grinding up, building this liquidity up, and in the futures to be grabbed. Okay, that'll be all for today. Hope this session from top-down analysis is helpful. If there's any additional strategy you would like to see or anything you would like to clarify, I can do a separate video on it. Just leave it in the comments. Stay safe and happy trading.